Hello, awesome viewers. Welcome back to Time Guide to BZ. I'm your host, Vinny, and today we got something totally out of this world. Oh, that was real goofy goober. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a goofy goober! Anyway, we have another episode of Death Battle that we're going to be reacting to, this time featuring two extraterrestrial combatants. Rocket Raccoon versus Stitch. Now, strap yourselves in because we're going to be figuring out who's going to win this galactic showdown between Marvel and Disney. But before we do, if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And if you did like this video, maybe comment down below and tell me what you guys liked. Did you like the video and the death battle itself? Do you like the outcome? And do you agree with it? I know some people are probably going to agree or disagree, but it is what it is. Deal with it. Also, make sure to share this with your friends, family, and strangers. Because remember, sharing is caring, y'all. Now, with that being stated, let's go ahead and get into this death battle here. Go ahead and begin in 3, 2, 1.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp and Mint Mobile.
Alright, let's see if Disney can cap another W on their end. They've already gotten one with Mickey versus Yoda, but hopefully they might not.
Stitch, Disney's Extraordinary Experiment 626.
Right.
Rocket, Marvel's murderous mercenary mustelid. Those are like weasels and ferrets and raccoons. You know, because he's a...
Just because you're cute and fluffy doesn't mean you aren't the deadliest thing in the universe.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Good idea. Let's see.
In the distant reaches of outer space, the mad scientist Jumbo Jukiba was accused of illegal genetic experimentation.
He took the galaxy's most fearsome, most dangerous, most absolutely purely black-hearted evil creatures and smushed them all together.
A great man with a vision, persecuted by spineless know-nothing bureaucrats.
The result? Experiment 626, though you can just call him Stitch.
He did not!
I think I'm gonna be sick. Oh, so naughty. After being slated for termination, Stitch escaped to a distant planet.
He's 18 years
ER.
old?
Oh wait, Earth.
Crash landing on the Hawaiian island of Kauai of all places. There he'd be adopted by the Earth girl Lilo and went incognito as the ugliest dog ever.
And despite his horrific
And I think he
upbringing,
just ate
Stitch
his own
found
mom.
he
Bro,
had a
that's
softer
disgusting.
side, a love of Elvis, and a kinship with Lilo, a devil child who didn't fit in, just like him. It wasn't long before Stitch was ready to do anything to protect his new Ohana from the alien threats coming to get him.
And let me tell you, as a fellow mad scientist, Jumbo really outdid himself here. I've been meaning to dig deeper into Stitch's piecemeal alien biology for years. First of all, his fluffy exterior is entirely bulletproof, fireproof, and nearly impenetrable.
Oh, this comes with a catch.
And this dude can
His
lift up to
molecular
3,000
structure is
pounds.
so dense, he can't swim. Sucks he landed in Hawaii of all places.
Stitch can crawl on walls, hear a whisper from miles away, and scream so loud he'll blow you to kingdom come.
He's strong enough to lift 3,000 times his own body weight and can spin dash so fast he'll burst into flames.
His eyesight is also incredible. He's got night, X-ray, and infrared vision, and can even zoom in hundreds of times over.
Even better, he can hawk loogies like a friggin' machine gun. His spit is conductive enough to short-circuit electronics, stick objects together like glue, and even dissolve solid rock. Oh, and he's somehow a genius too. The dude knows molecular physics and can build entire mech suits and spaceships out of junk in seconds.
You wouldn't think it from his everything, but Stitch is a genius with a brain comparable to a supercomputer. The world's most powerful supercomputer right now is Hewlett-Packard's Frontier, which can make 1 quintillion calculations a second.
Comparing Stitch to Frontier is frankly a massive lowball.
See, Stitch was programmed to have Jumba's own intelligence, and Jumba's IQ has been compared to that of an entire galaxy combined.
I have conducted my own genetic analysis to determine Stitch's alien progenitors. His DNA includes traces of the manglioid of Meridian 4, the goo goblin booger beast, the people-eating pus monkey, the deadly disemboweler, the boiling tongue-oid, and the bottom-feeding scum sucker.
Sounds like your ex-wife, am I right?
No, Wiz, what the hell? That's such a messed up thing to say about her. Be better.
I'm so disappointed in you.
You can make those jokes when you start paying the alimony.
Well, Stitch's incredible buffet of alien DNA is supported by a power cell embedded in his body, fueled by the energy of 2 colliding planets.
Whoa.
Huh? Colliding planets!
You guys
Are you coming back?
he's not. Doesn't seem like.
No?
You.
Okay.
He's got a jetpack, freeze ray, grenades, and a Seismotronic 200, which can make sandwiches gigantic. Oh, and shrink enemies, that's cool too.
Stitch was a one-fluff army, and he proved it when everyone from the Galactic Federation to the dastardly Dr. Hamsterville came to pick a fight with him.
Including all of Jumba's experiments. Yeah, 626 isn't just some random number. There are hundreds of these little bastards running around. More troublemaking cousins to add to his growing ohana.
Though he had to pacify many of them first, like Slushy, who can create a snowstorm that covered all of Kauai.
Or Richter, who can split the Earth in half and shatter planet-busting asteroids.
And Jumba stated that Stitch was the most destructive, unstoppable monster the universe has ever seen. Even more dangerous than Holio, who can create a black hole large enough to consume the entire universe.
Speaking of black holes, in the anime, yes, there's a Lilo and Stitch anime. Stitch once
What?
piloted a ship carrying a supernova bomb, strong enough to wipe out a galaxy, and flew it into a black hole. It and the black hole both exploded on top of him, and he popped out no worse for the wear. You know, like you do.
Another time, he piloted a ship to a different black hole in less than 2 minutes. It's unclear exactly how far this was, but the average distance between stars is about 5 light years.
That means his ship would have had to have been flying at over 1 million times the speed of light.
And when he's filled with love for his ohana, the power cell inside Stitch surges incalculably.
The power of
He used this to
friendship.
defeat
That's what that
Darkman,
is.
an experiment explicitly made to be stronger than Stitch, who had just defeated 4 Stitch clones on his own.
And Stitch completely annihilated him. He knocked Darken into outer space so hard he dislodged a city-sized space station. You know, like you do.
He's even managed to worm his way into completely different Disney properties.
Oh God, we don't have another Deadpool on our hands, do we?
With Stitch around, Lilo, Nani, and the inhabitants of Earth couldn't be safer.
Surf's up for everyone's favorite blue fuzzball of death.
Indeed. I'm not gonna lie, Nani was looking really thick in that movie. She looked spicy. Anyway, so in case you guys haven't realized, I did do some research on this death battle because it's easy access. I do have a Disney Plus account, and I went ahead and watched it. Right, I watched the first movie because I wanted to get a little bit of understanding about this character. And the fact of the matter is that Stitch did have all those abilities on him. And I already knew a little bit about Rocket Raccoon from my experiences with Marvel. I've watched all 3 movies of the Guardians of the Galaxy, including the Avengers. You know, I try to stay up to date. And what I thought at first was this was going to be a battle of intelligence versus durability. And, you know, could Stitch be strong enough to keep up with Rocket's gadgets and be able to actually, could he survive whatever implosion in Rocket? Could he survive the encounter of being with Stitch, because he is
Somewhere in the
fire
Black
and
Mountain Hills
bulletproof
of
and
Dakota,
everything else.
there was a young boy named Rocket Raccoon.
Rocket.
I don't know.
Rocket, not Rocky. That's the Beatles song he's named after.
Well, I have wasted a lot of time on some very specific research.
In fact, it's just Rocket. Despite his startling resemblance to the
just
resourceful dumpster diving mammal, Rocket originates from the alien planet Half-World, which served as an asylum for the criminally insane ruled over by alien humanoids.
Along with
Oh,
many
not
of
a raccoon,
Half-World's
okay.
cutesy inhabitants, Rocket was subjected to cybergenetic modifications by his overlords.
All with the purpose of being Half-World's warden, Ranger Rocket.
Rocket's mutations make him smarter, stronger, faster, and tougher than your average garbage goblin.
His cybernetic skeleton is connected to artificial vertebrae and neural implants, allowing him to dodge gunfire and laser beams, survive an explosion the size of a city block, and keep up with supervillains like Kraven and Venom.
Alongside pals Lila the Otter and Walrus the... Yeah, Rocket battled the mercenary Blackjack O'Hare and killer clowns and saved the day time and time again. I bet you're wondering what the hell this has to do with Guardians of the Galaxy.
In a convoluted editorial effort to reboot his character, Rocket left Half-World to become a mercenary and had his memories suppressed. After a betrayal by his otter lover, a different one, he has a thing for otters, Rocket was sent to jail.
Okay.
Space jail.
And prison changes a man. Gunn was the Saturday morning cartoon character of yore. He was a felon, cynical and hardened by the criminal justice system. The space criminal
the
justice
Captain Bucky
system.
O'Hare.
Rocket suffered not only from his penal servitude, but the trauma of his brutal genetic
Interesting choice.
modifications, and a lingering sense of alienation. It was in this personal hell where he'd meet a bunch of a-holes who would soon be his new teammates. Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax, and of course, his best pal Groot.
And together they were the Guardians of the Galaxy, defending the free peoples of the cosmos from all manner of alien menace. For a price, of course. Though unlike some of the powerhouses on his team, Rocket's raccoon body is...
I told you he's not a raccoon. He was created on Half-World and is the last of an entire race of raccoon-like aliens. He just happens to look like an Earth raccoon.
Don't lecture me on raccoons,
He
Wiz.
looks like
I'm an
a
expert.
raccoon.
Been fighting the bastards for years. Did you know their tiny little bandit masks are for reducing glare to enhance night vision? They can hear noises as quiet as earthworms digging underground. And about 2/3 of the sensory perception part of their cerebral cortex is devoted to their tactile impulses. That's why they grab shit with their tiny little hands.
All perfectly suited to a nimble, stealthy glass cannon like Rocket.
Yeah, cuz
That makes
he's a
sense.
raccoon.
As I was saying, Rocket became the team's resident grease monkey, specializing in all things technology and engineering. And fittingly, his specialty in combat is firearms.
Yeah, that sounds like my cue, Wiz. Rockets built giant mechs, cobbled together random junk for an improvised flamethrower, and casually slapped together a bomb strong enough to destroy a moon. Oh, and he's got every kind of hand cannon imaginable. Pistols, machine guns, miniguns, rifles, rocket launchers, plasma guns, laser guns, and my favorite, the melon popper, where melon means head and pop means... kabam!
That melon belonged to a Super Skrull, one of the deadliest warriors in the Marvel Universe. With the combined abilities of the Fantastic Four, including the Thing, who survived a blast from the power cosmic that could split a planet in two.
Yeah, Rocket's weapons are crazy, like the Rampart armed phasic cannon, which utilizes cold fusion and could melt
yeah,
the
look
face
at all
off the
that
Mad
stuff, yeah.
Titan himself,
Through my
Thanos.
eyes.
The same Thanos who is strong enough to survive a supermassive black hole 4 light years across, and came out with only light scratches.
The very same Purple Shrek who's battled universe busters and beyond like Thor, Hulk, and Odin. If Thanos can walk through attacks from a dude who can shake the multiverse and Rocket's guns can hurt him, I'm gonna need one of those puppies under my pillow ASAP.
And similar weaponry to what rockets use can operate down to the picosecond, which is 1/trillionth of a second.
He can access all of these goodies at any time from his orbital stash, a remote-controlled satellite that'll deliver anything he wants lickety-split.
Rocket can zoom through the sky on his rocket skates, project force fields, teleport with a portable AI, melt through solid metal with acid, and even hack foreign technology.
Anything from a prison to a planet to an entire galactic empire. Rocket's the most dangerous not raccoon who's totally a raccoon in the whole universe.
And he's proven it with the Guardians. He's saved Earth at least 11 times, cured Ego the Living Planet of a lice infestation, and held his own against an entire world trying to kill him all at once.
He even devised a plan that ultimately stopped Dormammu, the Lord of the friggin' Dark Dimension. No wonder Star-Lord called Rocket the greatest tactical mind he's ever met, even if sometimes he has a tendency to run in guns blazing.
Though he'd always be a wisecracking son of a bitch, his time with the Guardians softened his edges. He learned to enjoy life again, and even made it back to Half-World to send that bastard Blackjack O'Hare packing.
And even though he clearly is one, whatever you do, don't call him a raccoon, because there's nowhere in the galaxy to hide from this gun-toting mother flarker.
That was funny. Okay, so I don't know if my opinion has changed on this. I really was kind of leaning towards, Stitch on this one to be the victor, but I'm not quite sure anymore. Because now there's a lot more about Rocket Raccoon that I did not learn. And clearly the comics do dive into it, so they dive into the origin of the character so more intuitively, and there's a different origin than they do have in the MCU. So I figured they were going to have a couple of different abilities added onto Rocket, but I just didn't know if he had as much in regards to strength and physicality. He still relies on his weapons and his gadgets and whatnot. And ultimately, that's what this battle is going to come down to. Is Stitch going to be durable enough to withstand the blast that Rocket can create? Or could Rocket somehow manage to survive? Or is he not going to be able to survive and outmaneuver Stitch's, cleverness and unpredictability? So I mean, both are kind of unpredictable. Both are unpredictable, but, you know, it ultimately comes down to who wins. Well, we're about to figure it out. There we go. Oh, nice. Okay, so 3D with 2D animation. Oh, there's the guy with the ice cream. Yep. Oh, sorry, dude. Lost your ice cream again.
You smashed my ship, Flark Face!
I'd be careful with that. Alright. Okay, busting out the one. Okay, so Stitch is bulletproof. So fireproof too. I don't know, plasma.
What did you say about my mother?
Yep.
You disgust me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you gotta stay away from him. Oh, yeah. Doing a spin dash like the damn blue hedgehog. And again, he's bulletproof, so.
That's it.
Oh,
I
dang.
need a bigger gun.
Gross him out? I guess, I mean, I really don't know. I guess he said some really messed up stuff. Oh, boy.
Come on,
Oh, okay.
I guess you could call this my Thanos Buster. It's hunting season now, Buzzball.
Find it out. Oh, okay. Ripped off his arms. Or burned off his arms. Let's find out. Though, at this point, it doesn't surprise me. Death Battle laws oftentimes have characters come back and make a surprise victory. So, let's see. Oh! Wow, yeah. Huh. Nice fireworks. Oh, no! Dang! They killed him! Dang! Really? You're gonna kill the ice cream dude on top of it? Fuck!
Ice
He
cream
did...
guy wasn't necessary, Wiz,
No.
but I felt it was an artful touch.
Though similar
Man.
in many ways,
Y'all,
Stitch
for
and
real.
Rocket's styles were polar opposites.
Stitch
Excuse
was
my
more
word.
than strong enough to tear Rocket apart physically, while Rocket's guns were powerful enough to kill people even stronger than Stitch. So the question was simple. If both of them only needed one hit to win, who would get the killing blow first?
Right.
It all came down to speed. Rocket has dodged lasers, and his guns could operate down to the picosecond, 1/1,000,000th of a second.
But Stitch's supercomputer brain could operate down to the quintillionth of a second, a million times faster, at minimum.
And his ability to pilot that ship at over 1,000,000 times the speed of light meant that he more than had the reaction speed to dodge anything Rocket threw at him.
Rocket's tactical brilliance meant he could keep Stitch at bay with tricks for a while, but he couldn't reliably seal the deal. Despite being a little blue goblin, Stitch usually stays level-headed in a fight, whereas Rocket can be way more impulsive.
And frankly, Stitch is probably even smarter considering he has the combined IQ of an entire galaxy.
One slip up from Rocket is all Stitch would need to end the fight.
Rocket's arsenal was absolutely bonkers to be sure, but Stitch's superior speed, physical strength, and unbelievable intelligence gave him the win.
Looks like this Rocket's blasting off again!
The
Wow.
winner is... What's going on? What's going on?
Oh, there's a f***ing turkey here too! Where's he gonna leave the turkey behind?
The winner is Stitch.
Okay. Alright, next time on Death Battle. Y'all know it. Y'all know it. Death Battle. Yep, Darth Vader versus Obito. Yep, there it is. I wonder why they chose that. Yep, Vader versus Obito. Okay. Alright, now, folks, here comes the good part. Of course, I had kind of already suspected with the way the battle was going to be leaning towards that Stitch was going to be the winner. I thought with those couple of upgrades and mentions that they were going to talk about with Rocket, he'd have a chance, but, you know, it is what it is. But first, let's go ahead and go over the three things. Animation, battle itself, and, of course, the outcome, you know. So first, animation. Animation, I liked it, you know, combination of 3D, 2D. I don't appreciate the fact they killed the ice cream bro. The bro has never been able to lick that ice cream. He's never gotten that lick once. Not once. And I just feel so bad for him in that. And then he got killed in the process, bro. Rest in peace, my dog. Rest in peace. Overall, animation was pretty good. Everything was going right, but you didn't have to do the ice cream man like that. Second thing, the battle. Overall, was really good. A lot of twists and turns. I really didn't understand why they had Stitch be caught on fire. I guess it was a way to kind of add a little bit of comedy to the whole wackiness of these characters. Both of our combatants here are really unpredictable and relatively unstable to a certain degree. So yeah, it does kind of play into the characters, and I did like that sort of aspect. I was kind of surprised that Stitch utilized Rocket's own gadgets against him, and then, you know, at the end there, tried to cap it off with a big bang before Rocket could, you know, cause some demonetization to the channel. But, and honestly, I figured out that this entire episode has kind of had a little bit of bad language mixed throughout the whole thing. But, you know, it works, and it fits into the overall thing. The third thing we're talking about is the result, the conclusion. Is it accurate to say that this battle is pretty accurate and strong? Again, folks, supporting argument, all these battles are. Now, there's going to be a bunch of fan speculation, a bunch of conversations between people about whether or not if circumstances were this, positioned like this, or rather things were positioned like this. The answer I'm going to say is going to be based off of what I anticipated before the fight. I already stated, was it going to be Rocket's gadgets or Stitch's abilities? And before I told you guys, I already said he was able to lift over 3,000 pounds. He is fireproof. He is bulletproof. So there was very limited options that Rocket had in regards to any sort of major damage to Stitch. So the answer came down to really a matter of who had the greatest capacity to kill and who could pull it off at the fastest moment. And it really is about speed in some of these battles. It's not about how smart or how powerful they are, but how fast can they pull it off. And really, it is very difficult to see that Rocket could be the winner in this because he doesn't have a lot of, like, fighting capabilities. He's not a good hand-to-hand combatant. And I feel like when you're dealing with that kind of battle, it really does come down to a sense of, if you're going to fight somebody, you need to fight somebody who has the same kind of abilities and skill sets as you. Stitch didn't have that. He had his physical strats, including his smarts, and that's kind of what gave him the edge in this battle. He didn't rely on any gadgets or anything of that nature. It was just kind of his own skills, including it with his own DNA. So you brought guns to a street fight. It's as simple as that. I'd probably say this death battle is pretty accurate, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you believe that this is accurate? I'm definitely interested to see what you guys have to say. And I cannot wait for the next episode that is going to be appearing, which is Vader versus Obito. I am a huge fan. I became a huge fan of Naruto over the last couple of years. And it's definitely really cool about that. And, you know, Darth Vader has made several attempts on this show. I don't know his win-loss record. I'll kind of have to rewatch some death battles and figure it out. But I will get you guys that video and that reaction as soon as I possibly can. So anyway, I'm going to head out. So once again, thank you all for tuning in. I love y'all. And I'll see everybody in the next piece of content of Time Guide DBZ. Hope you guys enjoyed our Galactic Combatants here. Before I do head out, I would like to go ahead and tell you guys, from now on, I'm going to give you guys a verse that you guys can carry on with yourselves for the next couple weeks and have you guys deal with some things, because it helps me to kind of remember certain verses as well as be able to teach you guys some things. So anyway, here we go. I'm going to be reading from Psalms chapter 23. It's a very famous one. It's easy, and it's one of the first ones that you guys can hear and know that it is. So, Psalms 23, verse 4. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod, your staff, they comfort me. Have a God bless week. Peace.